Hello and welcome to the Parent's Guide to Gaming. My name is Andrew, and if you're around my age, you probably remember the era of terrible games based on a licensed property.
From the studio that brought you Prince of Persia comes a TMNT gaming experience like never before.
It seemed like most of the games we played as kids that were based on our favorite superhero movie or TV show were terrible. Today, I'm going to be talking about Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay, and whether it follows that trend, or if it's actually worth your money and your kids' time. So what is this game? Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay is based on the popular animated TV series Paw Patrol. In this game, players take on the roles of the heroic pups from Adventure Bay as they embark on daring rescue missions. The pups have gained superpowers, transforming them into mighty pups. Each one has a unique ability, such as super strength, flight, or energy projection. Players can switch between two pups during gameplay to utilize their powers strategically. The game takes place in Adventure Bay. Here, players can explore various locations, including the beach, the city, the forest, and more. There are hidden collectibles, puzzles, and challenges to complete within each level. As a mighty pup, your mission is to save Adventure Bay from various disasters, whether it's rescuing stranded animals, stopping a runaway train, or putting out fires. In addition to the main story missions, there are also mini-games and puzzles. These activities help unlock new abilities and enhance the pup's skills. There is also local cooperative multiplayer, allowing friends and family to join forces and play together. The game features vibrant visuals, staying true to the show's art style, and fans of Paw Patrol will recognize beloved characters like Ryder, Chase, Marshall, and more. Now let's talk about the parent's perspective. This game is rated E for everyone by the ESRB, and as far as the content of the game, that's accurate. This title in the Paw Patrol series has simple gameplay that kids can easily understand. The structure of the game is that you will launch into a variety of levels. Each level is a semi-open area that the player can explore as the two pups that are selected for that level. You run around, you look for pup treats, which are kind of like coins in another equivalent type of game, and you poke around for a few other hidden secrets or collectibles, none of which are too complicated or hard to find. At the end of the level, you're typically required to use your Mighty Pup power, which will basically be a visual representation showing the pup getting their superpower, and you as the player will do a simple button prompt, whether it is press the B button when the arrow hits a certain point in a slider going back and forth, or whether it's mashing X over and over as fast as you can. Nothing too complicated. It's definitely something that most kids of a certain age, my daughter is 5 and she gets this no problem. When she was a little bit younger, it was a little bit more tricky for her, but once they hit that certain age where they can kind of comprehend what the game is conveying to them, it's very simple. Outside of the main levels, there are some mini games that can be selected from a separate menu in the initial choices that you're given before launching into what you want to play in the game. There is a Pup Pup Boogie kind of dancing mini game, a very simplified Guitar Hero-esque mini game. There are dodge the oncoming debris, like endless runner style mini games. Some of these are layered into the core story progression of the game, but if you enjoy them, you can go and you can just play the mini games whenever you feel like it. And these do add some variety to what is available within Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay. Something that I really appreciate about this game is that all of the menus are voiced, and the goals of each level are explained out loud. So a child who can't read can theoretically navigate the game without needing adult assistance. So when you're going through the menu, it'll say options, it'll say return to the lookout, it'll say resume. Like, it will say those things out loud. So if your child is listening, they will know what each of those are, whether they can read or not. Now, sometimes that doesn't matter. My kid will still ask me what it means or if she can press this button. Sometimes your kid will accidentally turn it to like Chinese or Portuguese or some other language, and then you're there trying to figure out how to get it back to English. But it is a nice feature. Outside of the menus within the level, Ryder, the character, the human character who is kind of the leader of the pups, he is the one explaining what you need to do for the mission, what you need to look for, what buttons you need to press, how you need to progress. So it is designed with that in mind, with kids that maybe are not quite at reading age. Now, some of the things I don't really like about this game from the parent's perspective, the game feels really floaty. The pups feel kind of unwieldy. It doesn't have a great feel to it. You know, sometimes you play those games and you're like, man, they just nailed the feel of this game. It just feels so good to play. This is not one of those games. Navigating the level, like, things are not very complicated, but they're made a little bit more complicated, a little bit unnecessarily complicated by the way that the game feels. Outside of that, the game is just technically a mess. Like, the glitches and the cut corners and the loading times and just everything about this game reminds me of what I mentioned in the intro, where it's just that kind of cash grab licensed garbage, and that really kind of bums me out. It's just, you pick up the game, you try to navigate a level, you're trying to like bounce across these umbrellas or whatever on the beach to get to the special thing you're trying to collect, and just, it doesn't feel good. There's just that game feel thing that people who play video games know. They can tell when something was made with love and care, and I don't feel like this is it. Now I want to talk about things from the child's perspective. So, first of all, it's Paw Patrol. Being able to play in this world as these characters, you know, you get to see Chickaletta, you get to see Mayor Humdinger, you get to see the world of Adventure Bay, you get to play as Sky and Marshall and all of your favorite pups, and that's going to do a lot for kids depending on the age range that you're working with. My daughter will replay some of the mini games that involve Sky or Everest because she loves those characters. She likes the girl pups, and that makes sense, and she has fun doing that. So that is always going to carry a lot of weight. It's the same reason that we as kids were playing some of the mediocre licensed games that we played, because we just love those characters. We wanted to be in those worlds. And this game is no different. I also think that the mini games are pretty fun and a good addition to the overall package. Like the Putt Putt Boogie mini game, my daughter loves that. Once she kind of figured out what it was asking of her, it is one of the more... It took her a little bit longer to kind of figure out what it was asking of her, but now that she likes playing that one. She likes the song. She likes the kind of endless runner mini games that I mentioned earlier. So like, there is something here. There is a little bit of variety, and just existing in this world, being these characters, kids are going to like that. Now, on the negative side, the technical issues that I talked about, like even my daughter at 4 or 5 years old was asking me like, why is this taking so long to load? Is it frozen? Is it stuck? Or she's handing me the Switch and being like, hey, I can't see my pup, and I would take it, and yes, her pup is stuck in a wall and there's no way to switch to the other one or to like do anything outside of either quitting the level or in some instances force quitting the game. I will say that the majority of her playtime has been on Switch. However, we did play some on Xbox because this game is on Game Pass at the time of recording. And a lot of those issues are still there. It is a better experience on Xbox. It's more polished. It feels a little bit better, but they're just those like that underlying cut corner feeling is always there. Along with that, along with the cut corners, one of the first things that my daughter asked me when booting up this game is, why aren't the pups talking? I mentioned earlier in the parent section that yes, it is amazing that everything is voiced as far as like the menu, the directions for the level, what you need to do. All of that is voiced by the voice actor who voices Ryder, the leader of the pups. However, none of the pups themselves speak. There's a really kind of uncanny thing to this game where there is no dialogue. There are no voices. It's just the one character. He's the only one talking, and it's a little bit awkward. It's very noticeable as a adult gamer who has played many games, but even my daughter at 4 or 5 years old was like, why are the pups not talking? So something to keep in mind. With all that being said, what would I rate Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay? I would give this game 3 out of 5 stars. It would be way less if I was only reviewing this game on a technical level. And I think that paying full price for it is a big ask. But my daughter has a great time when she plays it, mostly because she gets to play in a world that she knows and likes from the show. Since this channel takes the child's perspective into consideration when judging a game, that has to count for something. If your child likes Paw Patrol, or if you find this game on sale, I think it could be worth picking up. If you enjoyed this review, if you found it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. It would help me out tremendously. Also, leave a comment and share your favorite thing about Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay, or if you have any better recommendations for games in this genre, in this realm. As for this video, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching.